This is a very disturbing story now. The dentist accused of putting poison in his wife's protein shakes, ultimately killing her, is inside of a Colorado courtroom again this morning, this time to enter his plea. Aurora police say that James Craig ordered arsenic and cyanide days before his wife, Angela Craig, died in March. Craig allegedly made online searches on how to poison someone, and it's been revealed he had multiple extramarital affairs. He was facing financial issues. Now he's facing murder and tampering with evidence charges. NewsNation law and justice contributor and retired FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer is with us right now. Jennifer, good to see you. I know James Craig poisoned his wife so he could pursue a romantic relationship with someone else, though I don't understand because he had multiple affairs and he didn't let his wife being alive stop him before. But these website searches that keep coming up in these kinds of cases, is that enough evidence alone to damn someone? To see those Google searches for things like how to poison someone or ordering things like cyanide?
Well, certainly it's strong evidence, but it has to be followed up by an action. And we know those items were ordered, and we know that because they arrived at his dental office, not his home, and they were opened by a coworker who, of course, was concerned when they saw that. In addition, there's other information regarding another instance where he may have tried to also kill his wife. We also, of course, have that motive, as you mentioned. Now, he had been having these affairs with her alive and well, so why now? It's an interesting question, but this would have allowed him total freedom and more financial freedom as well.
You know, Craig's lawyers say there's no proof that he actually poisoned her, and that the cyanide he ordered, you mentioned a coworker opened it. He said it was for a patient that he was going to be performing surgery on as a dentist. But in terms of this, like, motive, you know, from his defense team, is he alleging she killed herself? She poisoned herself?
Well, it'll be interesting to see, Adrienne. I think on the defense side, they certainly have the point that he drove her to the hospital. If he really wanted her to expire, why would he drive her to the hospital? So I think that's a point that they have on their side. In addition, these items had apparently been in that household, and recall, it's used as rat poison. Could that have been left out? Some of the powder got on the counter. I could see them going down this trail, but at the end of the day, he ordered it. He was sneaky about it. He was upset that another order had been opened by a coworker. So it looks kind of damning, especially with those Google searches.
Yeah, I'm looking at these pictures. They look like this very happy couple. They have a nice home. And this wasn't the first time he is alleged of drugging his wife. I guess he tried to drug her. Again, these are all allegations. And then she survived to talk about it. What do we know about that case?
Yeah, that's an interesting situation. Again, though you used the same modus operandi, it didn't work. And so, again, he seems in this desperate mode to get rid of his wife for the point of freedom, I believe, and also money. They have 6 children together and were married for over 2 decades. It's just shocking that, of course, this took place. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to money and freedom.
6 kids. Can you imagine what they're going through right now? Jennifer Coffindaffer, thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.